Hello everyone, this is Dubchico for another CD review. Today I'll be reviewing the Girls' Generation Genie Japanese debut single. And before I go on, just want to take a brief moment to apologize for the lack of video updates. Right after I did the Kara Mr. video review, I actually got really sick. I was coughing and sneezing and all that. And I tried to do another video review, but it just was it was terrible. You didn't want to hear me coughing for half the video. So I did sort of continue doing written reviews for those who were following me, and so I feel much better now, and it's very good timing because just got this as in one of my shipments. And for those who know or following me, they know very well that I'm a Girls' Generation fan because of the original Korean Sowane Marepa, the Tell Me Your Wish Genie. And I was very excited when I first discovered that a few months ago when they were using Genie as the Japanese debut. So it's almost been it's over a year ago since I first heard it. You know, it literally, caught my attention, became a fan, and I'm very excited to know that, they brought Genie back, after a year. And, since then they start promoting other songs. So, with the review, this is the first press uh, limited edition. There was a lot of confusion I saw in the forums regarding, what are all these different editions and versions. There's always kind of sort of like, what's first press, what's limited pressing. Um, they're just I guess they're just, I said that it's really just some terms they use. Really, if you're familiar with buying Japanese CDs, you know that there's like a first press for their particular CD, which you get extra goodies, and then afterwards it's divided between a CD only or a CD plus DVD. So the regular CD plus DVD one, the non-first press ones, just called it limited pressing. I guess it sort of misled people. It's like, why is there two different limited editions? So this, you're looking at the first press one. This one sort of comes with the CD, obviously, the DVD with the music video, and the dance version of the music video, which doesn't come with the regular DVD. You also get the photo book, which I'll show in a minute, and you also get the photo card, which I have. It's randomly inserted, one for each member. I got the Yuri one, so it's got a nice little shine on it. It's not as, the material is a little thin. I mean, if I like the Kara one, it was almost like, I think it's thicker, and I think it was like laminated a little bit, but no complaints. So this is the OBI, and surprisingly the OBI has the lyrics information and not here, so I guess they sort of saved it for, they want to clean back and have all the information in the OBI. So you get in the CD, you get the Japanese Genie, you get the Korean one, and you get the instrumental or the without main vocal, so it's just the music. And it costs around 1,800 yen. I spent about $20 on it, so with the currency conversions depending on where you are. So with the actual insides of it, you get the CD on the top here and DVD. So it's very nice. It has a nice texture to it. And this is the actual photo book, and inside you get some nice pictures, some group shots here. You got each one has an individual shot, and you also get the credits, and this is the lyrics for the Japanese and the Korean version. So overall, do I think this is worth getting? I know a lot of people sort of are looking forward to having like a clear cut, yes it's good, no it's not good, but I find that it's very hard to say because it really depends on where your position is with Girls' Generation. If you're like a fan or if you're just like a casual listener to it. If you're like me and you like Genie a lot, then I mean, you probably got this by now, and you're not waiting for my feedback before you get it. If you're a Girls' Generation fan, but you're not really you don't really like Genie as much, or you like G or O more, I can kind of see you getting it, but probably you didn't get the first press one. You probably didn't pre-order and just sort of wait a little bit and got the regular one with just the CD or DVD. If you're just like a casual listener, would I recommend this? Personally, no, I wouldn't. I think that there's several factors to it. I think the Korean one actually sounds better. It sounds slightly better. Um, I think that if you're familiar with the language, or if you're looking at the lyrics, the translated lyrics, the Korean version seems to be more relevant to the genie concept, while the Japanese one, I can understand the whole language difference, and to try to sub in lyrics into like an existing song from a different language, and it doesn't really seem to be in line with the genie concept as much as the Korean one, even though the song's called titled Genie. Um, while the individual verses within the song are more consistent with each other, so you're not gonna get some random lyric that doesn't seem to fit in with the rest of the song. Like they probably just had trouble fitting in some words or something like that. The Japanese one's more consistent, it doesn't seem to be as relevant to Genie as the Korean one. So to me, the Japanese one sounds more like a girl, like loves you so much, I'll do anything I can for you, It it doesn't sound as much as Genie, like it doesn't sound like they're, Genie trying to fulfill your wish. It doesn't really go with the concept as much. And this was probably also one of the issues I had with this, is that it looking at this for its face value, the concept photos don't really relate to Genie. I mean, like I'm used to seeing the Korean one, and even in the Japanese performances in the video when they were sort of dressed up in like a circus concept. I kind of wish they used that as their concept photos as opposed to like this. While I mean they do look pretty and all that, it doesn't seem to relate to Genie. Like I'm used to seeing like the Marine Girl and all that stuff. Um, I just think that it almost seems like they took like a random photo shoot and just, hey, just smack it onto the album and just call it Genie concept. It's sort of like that, but I mean, to me, it looks a little plain, and that's just sort of, I guess, a mild complaint that I had over this. But all in all, for me at least, I think this is definitely worth getting. Um, if you're sort of, aren't familiar with Girls' Generation, or you're not familiar with Genie in general, I'd very much rather you get the Korean one, because I think this is probably what sort of defined the whole Genie concept, which is sort of having these, they're all dressed up in some like a marine uniform outfit. This is probably what most people were familiar with, and I'm not really gonna review that because this isn't really the video for that. But you can see that there's a big contrast, and they're not really in out their uniforms anymore. So it just seems like a kind of plain, it doesn't seem like doesn't really seem to relate to the whole Genie concept. So I guess that's about it for this review. And just for your information, there is currently a pre-order for the Japanese G single to be released, and as of this video, it's next month in October. So if you haven't pre-ordered it yet, I think this is a good time. From what I've noticed, certainly it's a little easier to get the pre-order of G as opposed to Genie. I guess maybe they sort of anticipated the demand and sort of increase the supply of it, or maybe there's less of a hectic frenzy of trying to get the pre-order from all these people. Like, people are more familiar with it, and it follows the exact same outline layout as to Genie. You get the first press one with the CD, DVD, you get another photo card, and then you get the regular limited pressing CD, DVD, and the regular CD. So everything follows the same. So if you had a hard time understanding how it worked for Genie, but you understand now, then you shouldn't be too confused or frustrated with G, because it follows the exact same layout, and the different additions to the CD. So that's the review, and hopefully you found that useful. Any questions or comments, please drop a response on the thread, and if you're watching it from YouTube, any comments on the YouTube page would be great, and I'll definitely do more reviews after this. Thanks for watching, everyone.